The email arrived late in the afternoon, a short and formal message from the producers of America Today, one of the most watched talk shows in the country. They wanted Ethan Cole, an ambitious entrepreneur and CEO of Nextech, as a guest on an upcoming segment about diversity in the tech industry. Ethan had seen this play before. Mainstream media suddenly remembering minority entrepreneurs existed, parading them on screen for applause before moving on to the next trending topic. But this was different. Nextech had just secured a billion-dollar defense contract, outbidding some of the biggest corporations in the industry. That wasn't luck. That was 2 decades of relentless work. Still, something felt off. His assistant, Rachel, noticed his hesitation. "Are you sure about this? You know how these shows operate. They love a success story, but they love tearing one down even more." Ethan leaned back in his chair. "I'll handle it. Besides, it's national exposure. Let's see what they have to say." Rachel sighed. "Just don't let them bait you." He nodded. If this interview was a setup, they were playing chess with the wrong opponent. The morning of the interview, Ethan arrived at the ATN studios in New York City. The green room was cold and sterile. A young producer greeted him, barely looking up from her clipboard. "Mr. Cole, thanks for being here. We'll mic you up in 5. No small talk. No warm-up. Just in and out like a transaction." As he sat in the makeup chair, an assistant powdered his face with practiced indifference. The monitor on the wall displayed the live broadcast, a panel discussing Hollywood scandals, followed by a cooking demo. Then the transition card flashed, the minority tech boom, talent or special treatment. Ethan clenched his jaw. So, this was the angle. If they thought they had the upper hand, they were in for a surprise. But he didn't yet realize how far they were willing to go. The set of America Today was designed to feel welcoming. Soft blues and golds, a sleek glass coffee table between the host's chair and the guests. Cameras hovered like silent observers, capturing every movement, every shift in expression. Ethan adjusted his suit as he took his seat across from Olivia Hayes, the show's lead anchor, a seasoned journalist with a reputation for sharp, pointed questions. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "Ethan Cole," she began, her voice smooth, practiced. "CEO of Nextech. A true American success story." Ethan offered a polite nod. "Appreciate you having me." She leaned forward slightly, flipping through her cue cards. "Let's get right into it. Your company recently secured a $1 billion government contract, outbidding some of the biggest names in tech. That's impressive." Ethan had seen this tactic before. Build him up first, make it seem like they respected his achievements. He gave a measured response. "It was a long process, but we put in the work. We developed a security encryption system that outperformed our competitors. Simple as that." Olivia crossed her legs. "Some have called it groundbreaking." A subtle pause. "But others have raised questions." Ethan remained unfazed. "Questions?" She picked up a card, reading aloud. "Some industry experts say Nextech benefited from certain federal diversity initiatives. That companies like yours have an edge because agencies are looking to diversify their vendors. That perhaps this wasn't just about being the best, but about meeting a quota." There it was, the real reason he was here. Ethan let a beat pass before responding. "I've heard that argument before. Funny how, when a minority entrepreneur succeeds, it's special treatment, but when legacy firms, run by the same families for generations, land those same deals, no one questions it." The air in the studio shifted. Off-camera producers exchanged glances. Olivia held her ground. "So you're saying race played no role at all in your success?" Ethan chuckled, shaking his head. "Let me ask you this. When SpaceX won its NASA contracts, was it because Elon Musk met a diversity quota? When Jeff Bezos secured government deals for Blue Origin, was it about his background? Or do we only ask that question when the CEO looks like me?" Olivia's expression remained neutral. "So you don't believe these diversity programs help?" "They help level the playing field," Ethan said. "But what people don't realize is, the playing field was never level to begin with." Olivia's smile sharpened. Let's talk about that playing field. You grew up in Detroit. Single mother. Public school. Worked your way up from nothing. That's inspiring. Ethan nodded slowly, sensing where this was going. But here's what some might wonder, Olivia continued. How does someone with no Ivy League background, no deep family connections, go from a struggling neighborhood to securing billion-dollar contracts? The implication was clear. How did you really get here? Who pulled the strings? Ethan exhaled. It's called work, Olivia. Some of us don't have generational wealth or country club networks to fall back on. So we build from the ground up. But surely you had help along the way, she pressed. Maybe a mentor? A program that gave you a push? Ethan smiled. Yeah. Help came in the form of working 3 jobs while getting my engineering degree. Help came in the form of sleeping in my office while I built my first prototype because I couldn't afford rent. That's the help I got. A producer behind the camera shifted nervously. They knew this was going viral. But some argue that minority entrepreneurs today have more opportunities than ever before, Olivia said, regaining composure. That grants, affirmative action, and government incentives exist specifically to open doors. Ethan leaned forward slightly. You know what's funny? When a minority business owner succeeds, people always ask what program helped them. But nobody asks which old money bank funded a white-owned startup, or which family connection got them into Harvard, or which golf buddy invested in their company. Silence. Let's stop pretending the system isn't rigged, Ethan said. It is. And the only people who don't see it are the ones it benefits. The producers didn't cut to commercial. The control room didn't intervene. This was raw. By the time Ethan left the studio, the internet was on fire. Some praised him. Others called him bitter. Cable news debated it. Investors flooded his inbox. But so did threats. An unmarked package arrived at Nextech's office. Inside was a single sheet of paper with one word: enough. Rachel frowned. You need security. Ethan exhaled. I knew this was coming. So what now? She asked. A network had already reached out. They wanted a primetime special. A deep dive into race, business, and the system. Ethan looked at the proposal. Tell them I'll do it, he said. But on my terms. This wasn't just about him anymore. The conversation had begun. Now, he had to decide how far he was willing to take it.